dear lovely YouTube watchers. We're still working our way through the Krans Guidebook of the Wild Unknown Archetypes. The Archetypes versus Stereotypes. Archetypes live in the big beautiful cosmos, swirling with potential. Stereotypes live in a small box with a tight lid. Let's imagine we pass someone on the street. When we stereotype, we reduce them. We make assumptions, we limit, judge, assess, decide. We misunderstand their complexity. We think we know their story. And most devastatingly, we deem ourselves as separate. No need to listen, no need to learn. This is done unconsciously, out of fear. With stereotypes comes the pain of contraction. If, however, we relate to this person archetypally, we become curious. We see coexisting potentials within them. We see their struggle and their shine. We realise they are unknowable and multi-layered. We begin to relate, reveal, heal, connect. We see ourselves in them and them in us. And all this can happen within a split second without their knowing. With archetypes comes the freedom of expansion. Everything belongs. Freedom of expansion. Okay, everything belongs. So we'll open the cards. We're going to have a look at, let's see, which one do I think means growth? Which one of these cards is likely to mean, or do I associate with us wanting growth? The empty room looks quite good for growth. Let's have a look. What one of these to me means growth? Do any of them signify an obvious growth? Okay, so I was thinking growth, but actually the mirror is what's got the full moon on it, and it's the full moon today, 12th of July. And the mirror is where we reflect ourselves in other people, and other people reflect themselves through us and on us. We reflect parts of ourselves onto others, and we allow other people to do the same. Let's have a read of the guidebook. The mirror, the reflection, the illusion, the looking glass. When light, it means witnessing the deeper self, pure awareness. When dark, narcissism, comparison, harsh edges. Okay, we look into mirrors every day without recognising them as portals into another realm. They can shatter, flatter, distort, reflect, and project an image back to us that we deem to be true. The energy of the mirror is all about self-perception. When the archetype of the mirror appears, we are in the mythic land of Narcissus, who saw himself reflected in a pool and fell in love with his own image. So compelled by his reflection, he could not turn away, a fixation that eventually led to his death. Recognise the power and danger of the mirror. It is a construct, one that may drive a shard between you and your true self. The mirror contains trickster energy. Put the phone down, stop with the comparisons, and let the mirror stand empty for a while. Rest with the one inside. That's a very powerful card, isn't it? I do like this card. Speak to yourself gently and kindly in the mirror. It will feel awkward at first, but it is a sure way to become friends with yourself. Yeah, exactly. And you think if you're reflecting for other people what and who they are, the idea is that to reflect the goodness, your best self to them, you help them become better people because they will reach for growth. So I've only chosen 3 stones today, 3 readings. This stone here is the red Jasper. It means honesty, stability and strength, because when we're looking for a reflection in others, we need honesty from them. It's no good if they don't give us the truth of the situation, because it doesn't help us grow, does it? This one is the Obsidian. It means intuition, balance and higher wisdom. And when we're looking for reflection, we are really seeking the highest truth we can find, aren't we? And that is often wisdom comes with that. Because knowing the truth and knowing how to use it or speak it or wield it, you need wisdom in order to do that without hurting other people. This one is the clear quartz. Well, it looks more like a rose colour to me, but the clear quartz means clarity, awareness, amplifying energy. So helping to make things clear for other people by reflecting themselves back to them. Again, I'm opening the cards. We haven't really got a question. We have got cards that are peeling away now. Look at these ones. These have been used so many times. The backings start to come off them. Right, we'll see, shall we? Got 3 piles of cards come together for a reading about mirror and the full moon. The mirror on a full moon. Who is reflecting what to you on the full moon? What are you reflecting to other people? On a full moon, when it's really, really hot, because it's the height of summer, so it's the hottest full moon of the year. And this year, we've got a heat warning in the UK. People already on a full moon become, I've noticed, agitated, more impatient. The ones that are already determined to get where they want to go, they become worse. People become less able to be tolerant of each other, depending on what type of person you are. So pay attention to the full moon and see how it affects you. Some people are more moon sensitive than others. This is true. When there's wind, some people are really affected by that and they become very restless. There's 2 cards for that one. I'll let it go. For those of you who've got children, or you've been around children, or you work with children, you'll know that on a windy day they become playful and mischievous and full of these energies of life that are flowing through them. They're affected by the wind, and people are affected by the sun. And we've got the hottest days coming up, and then we've got the full moon at night. Okay, so if you're the type of person who's affected by the elements, you've probably got a challenging week ahead of you. So I'm sorry about that, dear person who's full moon sensitive. Some people are full moon sensitive and they're not aware of it. You know, like when I think about people who tweet on a full moon, you've only got to look, you haven't got to look much further than Donald Trump to see, they just fell out, those ones, to see the effects of the full moon on a person. And it's almost, you could look at his tweets through the calendar of the full moon, and the most outrageous capital letters and exclamation marks ones will be around the full moon. You know? That one's trying to get out, but we saw it, so we don't want it. So here's a little test for you this week. And if you miss it this week, like if you're watching this at a later time, try and practice on a full moon, paying attention to what you're thinking, what you're feeling, how open you are to the elements, how balanced you are emotionally, because it sets people off emotionally. This is the time, if you're going to get triggered, this will be the time for that to happen. And you don't want to be triggered, do you? Because it's hard work. No one likes being triggered. These cards, the OSHO cards, or the OSHO, I'm not sure how you pronounce his name, I really should look it up on the internet. These cards are letting you know what is holding you back. Okay, they're great cards, I love them. They've just got one word written on them, and they are full of wisdom. They are. Let's just tidy that up. Now, that's the shuffling done. Let's see what the cards say. Thanks for watching, peeps. See you in your reading. Now, person number 1 with the Obsidian. Look at it. It's so... well, it's beautiful actually, isn't it? Look at it. It's triangular. We've got a triangular shape there. And then when we turn it over, we've still got this beautifully round round shape. There's nothing harsh about this. Right, so there's nothing harsh at all about what you're reflecting to other people. Listening is an amazing card to have for the reflection question. Doorway. This is the start of something new. Elk. Celebrate your accomplishments with humility. You are crowned with success. Powerful forces guide you. Your ability to conquer challenges is limitless. Oh, okay. Limitless, that's a strong word, isn't it? You've got the strength to do this. And you've got the Two of Swords. Usually when you have a mirroring situation, it's between you and one other person. And this is the Two of Swords. So this little pack here is reminding you that you don't have to mirror back all of the nastiness. You don't have to mirror back all of the unpleasantness. You can mirror the better parts of people. Look for the nicer parts of people, even though you can see the worst parts of them, because this is who you are. As the creator and a person who can see clearly, although you can see the harsh parts of people, does it help really to reflect that back for them unless they've asked you to? Like, unless they've specifically said to you, okay, I want you to be harsh and let me know what are the darker parts of myself that I could improve. Unless you've got that sort of relationship with them and you've asked them to do it, they've asked you to do that, and you've got that agreement that's what you're going to do, there's no reason at all for you to be dragging it out of another person, their worst nature. So this reading, in order to bring about a new doorway and a new adventure for you, new peace of mind, new place, and it's not a new place physically, it's a new place spiritually and mentally for you. Be the person that's waving the wand of kindness. Okay? When you're faced with someone that you know is full of all this nonsense and full of stuff they haven't looked at and they're full of issues, you letting them know that that's what they've got isn't helping them, right? Because then they're faced with another person who's judging them. What you can do is be kind, and that kindness will at least offer them a role model. So when later, when they've worked through all their stuff, they can look back and help be kind to other people that are going through it. Because the person who's with a blindfold, who can't see their role in it and can't see what they're doing, it's not helping them by saying to them, you know, you're blind, right? You know the bit you're not looking at. Well, how are they going to look at it if they've got a blindfold on? But they're the person that's got to take the blindfold off. You can't take the blindfold off for them. So while they're doing this, all you can do is help guide them through it by being kind and being as gentle and understanding as you can. Trust. Oh, yes. Whoa. And the mind. Okay? So the trust card is asking you to trust what the universe is bringing to you. Trust what you're seeing, and know when your mind is turning it and churning it and destroying it, when the reality is what's actually there could be improved with what you do. Okay, so you've got the ability to improve your own mind so that you see things better with an improved way of looking at things, and also so that whatever is there, you don't project your negative thinking onto it so that it becomes something unwanted, becomes something unpleasant, becomes something bad because of the way you're looking at it. Thanks for watching. Okay, the truth of the full moon. This is what we're playing with here. The truth of the full moon and the truth of being able to reflect to others what's in their nature. Ah, children. That's a lovely card. It reminds us to be playful. Oh, look at this. I thought that said kitten, but it says Lynx, keeper of secrets. I read keeper to be kitten. Take time out from the world and be the observer. Nothing can deceive you when you trust your knowing. You see others' secrets and keep them sacred. In silence and solitude you will find your strength. That's a beautiful card, isn't it? Oh wow, and here we have another cat. A giant lion, the lion heart. Isn't that lovely? The heart of a lion. Okay, so you've got to be very brave to offer the level of honesty that you bring to a relationship and people, because your way of being is so clear. It can offer a truth that can be hard to hear for people. Yeah, here you are, the Hierophant, the spiritual person. This person is supposed to be more like a pope than a godfather. Okay, more like a pope than a villain. And we've got pain that you're causing yourself. The Three of Swords, the inner pain that comes about. And again, the Four of Swords. Oh, okay, so there's a lot of pain here that's still being caused, but it's only being caused from the reflection business. Okay, the pain that you're absorbing on the inside, you're taking on someone else's pain and absorbing it in as part of your reality, and you don't need to. Eight of Pentacles is money from work, and the Empress. That's a beautiful place to be. If you can come back to yourself and let go of other people's reflections and stuff, you remind yourself that you have the ability to feel good about your stuff. Okay, with the mirror, you can mirror and reflect other people whatever they want. You can't control how they perceive you. You've got no idea about their inner workings or what they're thinking or feeling about you. But if you take their negativity on board and allow them to trigger you, you're the person that's falling. Okay, you don't want to be falling. You don't want to be miserable and unhappy. You want to be a person who's happy. Put your feet up. It's time to rest now. You've done the hard work. Okay, so there's an element of learning here. Just because you can see that someone else is full of angst and they want to direct their projections at you, you don't have to accept them. You do not have to accept pain from another person. Trust your inner voice, no matter what other people say, because sometimes other people can't see this clearly. So you know that someone's working against you. You can feel the vibes that you get from them, and other people can't see that because they're not working on the same plane. So it's pointless telling other people, because it just makes it sound like it's you talking nonsense about another person. And they're like, oh, this is coming out of you, and you're like, no, it's come out of them. And it's this chain reaction, isn't it? So you know what's the truth of the matter. So trust your inner voice. Don't bother trying to explain it to anyone else, because they're probably not going to understand it. And this is why you got two of these cards. This reading got two cards. You've got the projections. Look at this. This is perfect for the mirror card. This is exactly what we're talking about. People project the best part and the worst part of themselves onto the other person. That's why people fall in love with each other, because they're not falling in love with that person as they are. They're falling in love with the reflection of themselves. They think that's great, and it makes them feel good. They feel great when they're with someone that they're doing this codependent projection business with, until they start looking at the dark side and the shadow side, and that comes out as well, and that's not quite so attractive. And they, instead of looking at where that is present in their personality and their person, they blame the other person and go, look, they're like this. Right, so make sure that you're not projecting, okay? Because projection is very painful and leads to a level of not awareness. It's the opposite of growth. It's the ignorance and blaming another person, because even though this other person probably is like you're seeing them, the truth of it is you would only see that part of them if there was an element of your shadow that wasn't healed. So the victim sees the perpetrator. Another perpetrator, what would they see? In that other perpetrator, they wouldn't see the same role, because the perpetrator can't perform that role onto a perpetrator. They can only perform it onto a victim, right? This is a very, very hard words to hear, isn't it? Depending on the place you're at in the path of being mistreated by another person. If you're at the beginning, or you're in the raw stages of getting away, or you're thinking about getting away, this is not what you need to hear. But a few years down the line, when you look back and think about a new relationship or where you're going next, this is what you need to hear. It's what you really need to be aware of, who you are, what you're doing. Otherwise you just keep repeating it, because you only see in the next person exactly the same things you saw in the last person, until you clear up your own mirror. Give your own mirror a polish, and then your life becomes easier. Thanks for watching. This red Jasper, it's a very powerful card. Look at it. It's of the heart, surely, because when you get red things, think about them as of the heart, a support card. And you've got the higher self. Okay, so the colours of these cards, they're very warm and loving. Now this is, admittedly, this is basically lilac and pink, but it's a warmth that comes with this card, with help from guardian angels. And your higher self, that's a part of yourself that hasn't materialised on this plane. That's the part of yourself that's still with you and bringing you strength and guidance, but it's not here. And then we've got perfect, look, we've got the raven and the shaman. You are the creator and the magician. Use your gifts for good. There is power in your wisdom and words. Connect with the elemental spirits and guide through the void. Claim your place as keeper of the mysteries. Claim your place as keeper of the mysteries. Okay. The Empress. I love the Empress card, that's fabulous. Oh, and the Chariot is something that's going to happen very quickly, speeds everything else up. And for some reason, yeah, you've got another one of these cards, the Knight of Wands. Someone bringing news. And the Six of Cups. So there's happy news, there's happy emotional news. Look at this, and you've got the King of Cups as well. So there's a lot of emotional news to be had here. And everyone else thinks it's good news, and you don't necessarily see it that way, because you've got this ability of seeing beyond what's actually there. So the wisdom card here is to keep your opinion about it to yourself, because no one's going to listen to you anyway, because they're all so wrapped up in the wonder of this. Oh, look at this fabulous news. And you here with the knowledge, the deeper knowing, who knows from experience that it's clear to you. There's a situation in front of you that is absolutely clear to you that it's not going to work, and everyone else around you is convinced that, look at this, what's wrong with you, you're just being unpleasant and negative about it. You have to just stick to your knowledge, your own inner knowledge. If people want to come to you and ask for your opinion, they want to come to you and say, well, what do you think about this, because they're aware that you've got knowledge that they haven't got access to, then that's fine. But it's pointless trying to offer your opinion about this, because these people are just wrapped up in the material world and they can't see beyond their own end of their own noses. The dream, that's interesting, isn't it? And playfulness. Okay, so give up worrying about what everyone else is trying to do. Know, look at this dream card, isn't it beautiful? Look, know that you have got the ability to vision and envision things into being. So you focus on what you want to happen, focus on seeing through a positive situation, and be playful with other people, be playful about it, and watch it materialise, because you've got the shaman and the higher self, so you've got the ability to make these things happen and bring them through from the dream state into the real world. And don't worry about what other people are doing, just let it go, forget it, move on, do your own stuff, do your own thing, and other people will come to you when they're ready. Okay, thanks for watching, bye for now.